and welcome back to my channel. This is Didsbury Art Studio and I'm Sally. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing two types of weaves on some cardboard looms. So again, very small looms that we can easily work with. And I've worked them up and I'm using some nice chunky wool, and I'm going to be doing shapes within a weave and also just showing you how to do different types of splits. So shall we get straight into the video with my hot chocolate? Okay, so we're going to be doing some shapes in my card loom weave. So I'm going to just push the card through, and I would like to do a triangle and a square and just show you how I would use the tabby weave, the plain weave, to create a shape and finish off the edges with the background. So I'm going to begin by doing the triangle shape. So I'm going to be using these two wools. I think these two colours go well together, and they're also very similar weight and chunkiness. So this is what we will use. So I'm going to start at the bottom of this triangle here, and I'm going to go over, under, over, under. Like so. And as you can see, I've drawn out the triangle there. So I'm going to end on this under, and I'm going to start on an over. So I'm going to go back in the opposite direction, but I'm just going to come up in the warp length strand here, one before where I started. So I'm decreasing the amount of weft going across. So I'm going to tuck that together like so. And now, because I've ended on under, I'm going to start on my over, back in the opposite direction. Pull that through. And then I'm actually going to end on this previous warp length here. So I'm going to go back the opposite way. So over, under, over, under. And then, as you can see, I'm going to end on just the last one here, which is one up. So I'm going to be decreasing as I go higher up from the top of the triangle. And then I'm ending on this warp length here and doing an over, and you can see it's starting to take shape. An over, under, till I get to the top. And then I'm literally just going to take my wool and just tuck it down through the back, just out of the way. Like that. We can just hide that away a little bit, like so. So there is our triangle. Okay, and for the next one, I want to do this one in the brown wool. So I'm going to be doing the square. Start at the bottom over here. So I'm going to start on an over, under. Leave a bigger tail actually hanging off there though. And then over to this side. I love this wool. It's just so nice and chunky. I think I got it from Hobbycraft. So we've ended on an over, we're going to go on an under. And then we are going to head back in on the left hand side. So bish bash bosh, heading over here. And I'm just stopping obviously where my line is. So I'm going to shuffle those down. Let's get the rest done. And there we go. So we can just tuck this down the back end. And then we can do the same with this one too. You can obviously do various different shapes. I'm just showing you some basics here, but quite often it's quite nice to do some shapes within a weave. It challenges you a little bit more with the tabby weave. There we go. So we can pull this card out now because we don't really need that. And now we are going to do the background. Okay, so next up, I'm just going to do a plain weave, a couple of rows down from the top. So I'm still doing my over under basic tabby weave. Okay, so now that I've done a couple of rows just in the tabby weave, I've rethreaded up some more wool. And what we're going to do is I've started on an over there, so I'm going to start here on an under, and we're going to go up to the side of the triangle, and then I'm going to just take it back through this one and over to the right hand side again. And then I'm going to head back over this side. There we go. Give it a little bit of slack actually. There we go. And I'm going to interlock with this warp length here. So I'm going to go under and back over to the right hand side. So what's actually happening is I'm connecting the two colours together and the two shapes. So we've got the background, positive and the negative shapes. Push that up. And once again, I'm going to underneath this warp length here and head back. It's just interlocking and fixing the shape there. And then head back. Try not to pull it too much. There we go. And then back under that one. And then I can just take this row over here. We can just leave that at the moment. So now I'm going to go back up here with a new wool length, and I've ended on an under, so I'm going to start on an over, and we're going to interconnect the two colours once again. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck this little length of wool. I'm just going to tuck it around the back through that little. Okay, so we're now ready to go around the actual square here. Okay, so I've got all the way across over here, and now I'm going to be going down this side. So I've ended on an over, start on an under, and I'm going to connect through this little area here, and then we're going back this way, and then this way, so it's connecting on that warp length there. Back again, like so, and now we've just got this little last area to do. I've also added a couple more rows down the bottom there. Now you could just carry on this warp length here, and you would have just a little bit of a gap, but it would all be filled up here. But I still want to continue with the interlocking. So I'll just get this bit done. Hurrah! And then what I need to do is just get the tail ends, thread them up through my weaving needle, and we're just going to tuck those through the back. Okay, so that one is done. That's obviously creating shapes within a weave. So we've got the triangle and the square and the background done with the interlocking technique. Okay, for the last one, we're going to be doing what I call the splits. So we're going to need a couple of rows to begin with. So let's start with that. Those are the tabby weave. And now with the splits, you can decide sort of how you want to do this. You might want to have more on one side, less on the other. You might want to have 3 different areas. You might want to have 2 areas. So what do I think? I think that we could do, let's go with one less side and then a slightly larger side over there. So doing my plain weave there. And then instead of going all the way across the row, I'm going to stop here and head back this way. Like so. And then again, just up to where I want to finish. Keep those nice and tight. And what can happen here is the more you pull these tighter, they are going to come in. If you want that effect, great. If you don't want it, give yourself a little bit of slack as you go along. So I'm going to take this a little bit further down. And then I'm going to stop there. Now I'm going to thread up another length. And now over this side, I've ended there on an under, so I'm going to start on an over. And I am literally just going to go to the end of this warp length, head back, and you can just create so many different types of splits that you want to do, but you can be pulling those nice and tightly. Okay, so I have literally just whipped off the end there and tucked it around underneath one of the loops at the back there. And then I'm going to take this one, I'm going to rejoin. So I've ended on an under, I'm going to start on an over and head over here, which will then rejoin them all together and give us a few solid rows. Which is quite nice, just leaving these areas undone. I've used that a lot of those in my weaves. I'll show you some examples in a while. Okay, and as I start working across, I can then just shuffle the warp lengths to get back to where I want them to be together here in the center. So I'm going to do another row. Now this time, there we go. We can sort those tails out in a sec. So this time I want to do 3 little sections. So I might do one that's slightly smaller than this width. So I might do that one. And then I might do a wider one in the middle and then a smaller one at the side. So I'm going to do 4 warp lengths. And now what I want to do is I want to grab about this amount, 7 warp lengths across, and do the tabby weave once again. Okay then, so just nearly finished this split over here, and I've tucked and cut off all the other little lengths. I'm just going to take that down there to the bottom like this. So I'm just going to take it around the back through one of the loops there and just pull that through. Okay, so there are the 2 that we've done today, shapes within the weave and also some splits. Yeah, you need to just play around with where you want the splits to go, and you can also just change up the colours as well. And then just to show you, I have included splits within other weaves that I've done in the past. You can see those ones up there. I've left it right up to the top, but you can also just kind of shuffle and separate out as well. And then you can also see that I've done some splits in here. So I've just used some netting in between these two gaps here and then gone back to using some fabrics. And you can use, obviously, leave areas left undone as well. Video today, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big like. Please subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed this video. Then it'd be always great to have you around and join the community and watch the videos. That would be super helpful and also hopefully enjoyable for you, and I will see you in the very next video. I think I can hear Layla. Let me just get her. Hang on. Come on then. Layla, you going? There she is. Oh, come here. Are we playing chase? Oh, come here. So, as I was making the hot chocolate, I looked out the kitchen window and I saw a little squirrel sitting there munching a piece of toast. And Layla looked out the window and she was transfixed, weren't you? You were desperate to get out through the cat flap. Didn't let you out for a little while until it had gone. But you've obviously come back in because you didn't find it. Maybe you didn't find it. When you were really small, you thought that you were a little squirrel, didn't you? Climbed up a massive tree. All right then, take care everyone. I'll see you shortly. Bye.